What's up, everybody? Episode 289. Welcome back. Welcome back. It's been a long off season. Our seventh season starts today, and for some reason, my tablet just won't let me be great. But I guess I got to freestyle it. But anyway, we here. Our boys here to give you the latest NBA, NFL, and NBA talk. Since my tablet won't let me be great and it's killing my monologue, I'm just gonna say let's go ahead and get this started right now.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Red and Rev Sports Show featuring Coach and our special contributor, Armani. Our coach and Red are coming to you live from the ATL,
Shorty.
giving you real sports talk because we are real sports fans who are real sports athletes who have what, gentlemen?
Real sports knowledge.
So hang out with your boys, Red, Rev, who's in Detroit, Coach, and Armani, who's in VA, for episode 289 of the Red and Rev Sports Show, rather. Sports Code. And as is our custom, we're going to turn our sports attention to the very capable numerologist of the show, Coach Patrick Thomas, who's going to give us something or someone dealing with those numbers 289. What you got, Coach?
Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. We're glad to see everybody back here today. 289 goes to a young fella who, during his tenure, he's current, one of the better wide receivers in the game. I know he was at Steelers camp catching passes from Kenny Pickett, so I said I'd give him some props. Number 89, one of the best wide receivers in the game for the Carolina Panthers, Steve Smith, one of the toughest little guys around who didn't mind hitting you and didn't mind getting hit. So number 89, 289, Steve Smith, former Carolina Panthers wide receiver.
All right, 289, Steve Smith, now commentator on the NFL Network or Prime, one of them, Amazon Prime, one of those. But nevertheless, thank you, Coach. You did have to use still a reference in some form or some fashion. So that lets us know that you're very excited about your team. So we'll get to talk more about that. But Steve Smith, 289, and how you gentlemen doing?
Great. It's another day.
In a couple of months since we last been on the show, we're trying to work off the cobwebs so that we can get back to this next season of the Red and Rev Sports Show. And y'all pray for the Rev. I think I'm suffering a little travel lag. All the traveling I've been doing. But nevertheless, glad to be back. And of course, we're glad to welcome Revenite Nation, who was very instrumental to the success of our show. What's going on, Revenite Nation? The president is the only one that's chimed in so far, but nevertheless, he says, hallelujah. We are back. VP slammed the gavel. You're going to slam it on your own. I guess you're going to start practicing slamming it on your own, Mr. President, because the VP's not here yet. He says, good morning. If I was tired of catching four-leg barracudas of the rivers, why not North Carolina? Lieutenant Sonar, they ain't paying you enough. You need a new piano.
Oh, Lord.
No, they ain't paying me enough. You know, hey, the DOD, hey, budget cuts.
Good morning to you, Mr. Maurice Thrower. He's been traveling with those Miami Dolphins, and I'm sure he's excited about the Dolphins, seeing if they or believing rather that they're going to have a good season this year. All right, Maurice Thrower says, shoot, I'll bang the gavel. Go ahead on and bang it. And everyone feel free to hit the share button, let somebody know that you are watching the Red and Rev Sports Show. So please share the broadcast on your social media outlets who knows your share might be the share that brings somebody else into the Red and Red Sports Show community. As we normally do it, we're going to do our dope, nope, and cope moments, and there won't be too many sound effects since I'm on the road this week. But nevertheless, we have a lot of doping and noping and coping now. Gentlemen, we'll just do it like this, even though we didn't get a chance to talk about it before the show. You can dope, nope, and cope on something that happened this week or since the last time we had our show. So we give you a range of things that you could dope, nope, and cope on during this particular episode. And just understand that's just for this week. Or and start, it's within that week. All right. So
Yes,
the
sir.
parameters have been set. We'll start with you, Coach. What you got? What you doping? Nope. Or what are you doping on, rather? Go.
My dope moment, first of all, goes to one Lionel or Lionel, however they call it, Messi, who seemed to be making major in American soccer look like child's play, as he's come over here and just abused the MLS groups teams and just beating them down. And he finally, I think, gets a break today after playing every game, every minute. But he has been just destroying made Miami a contender when they were just in the bottom of the barrel. So my dope moment goes to Lionel Messi, soccer player.
Brother Messi, who's been balling. All right. All right. What you got on, Monty? What you doping on?
I'm doping on one Tua Tagovailoa. The way you responded to Ryan Clark's antics and criticism, hey man, I commend you. Ryan Clark was, just jabbing at you, picking at you, saying that you gained weight. You can't do this, can't do that. And Tua was just like, look, we don't do too much talking where I'm from. Hey, we can handle this another way if we want to go that way. Hey, Tua, good job for sticking up to your guns, man. I just hope you have a healthy season. Good job for sticking to your guns. Do not let those broadcasters try and diminish what you are and who you are.
All right. Sound like some roll tide.
Exactly.
Roll
What
Tide.
you doping on, sir?
All right, y'all. Fact my tablet back on now. And Tua better watch out here. We're gonna see if Tua doing all that talking. Ryan Clark pump back at him. So we'll see how tough you are, Tua. Anyway, what am I doping on? Man, it, I have so many, but I'm just gonna pick this single one out. I'm doping on Fred McGriff's Hall of Fame induction. Another member of our great Braves. I guess 95 team entering the hall, so that makes the three pitchers: Chipper, Fred, Bobby, and Sherholt. That's 7 members of that 95 Braves team in the Hall of Fame. Dope, just dope, fellas. Ooh, love greatness in Atlanta.
All right. And I am doping on Michael, and the kid is not my son, Harris II. Just playing superb baseball when his namesake, who is not his father, came to 2 Braves games this summer in between our last show. The first game, he hit 2 home runs in a home game in Atlanta, then followed that back up last week against the San Francisco Giants, went 4 for 5. I'm already trying to make plans to see if I could get in a few playoff games at home. So my boy, who is not my son, can ball out some more. All right. Armani, what are you noping on, sir?
I am noping on the guy that coach said was going to be our number for today, which is Mr. Steve Smith. Steve Smith came out, I think it was his first and second one in training camp, just picking at Desmond Ritter. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, hey, who's throwing this ball? He's throwing picks, he's doing that. Dude, it's training camp. Why you look way too much into it. And then, we get it, man. You Panthers all day. You're gonna have something to say, Falcons not gonna win the division because they don't have no quarterback. We get it, man. But you carried it on for a little minute. It went on for like a week or two. Dude, you're not in that uniform no more. You're not across from us no more. Ain't nothing you can do. Just know that beatdown is coming week 1.
All righty, Red, what are you noping on?
I'm noping on a particular person that happened to be present during the Jose and Tim Anderson square off that we had in baseball a few weeks ago. But first of all, Tim, you get a note for squaring up and getting your butt knocked to the ground on one of Jose's wild swings. But the one person who I'm really noping on in that entire ordeal is that doggone chicken ass gutless umpire who was standing right there and could have killed the whole thing, but decided to say, no, I'm going to walk away. I'm going to walk into the outfield and let you guys handle it. What in the world? So is that what we doing now? Umpires just let players fight? Just saying, hey, I guess I can't break it up, so I'm just going to let them fight. That umpire, I'm noping on you, man. All that could have been said, hey, you just grabbed one of them guys and just held them back, calm them down. But no, you say, nope, not me. I'm walking to the outfield. You guys can handle it. Look at that video again and watch how chicken that umpire acting. You are a coward, sir. You understand me? A freaking coward. And he happened to be a brother, too. It makes it even worse.
I think the brother knows what happens when you start. He's a brother. I think he knows. Don't jump in fights that don't have anything to do with you.
Man, you supposed to be an authority. You supposed to be an authority figure.
I got you, Red. Thank
you. That looping right hand that caught him.
Thank you for not wasting any time for your first rant of the season.
I guess he didn't want to get killed with one of Jose's white hands, coach.
All right. I am noping on the women's national soccer team.
Ooh.
They did not have a good showing in the World Cup. They were on the cusp of being a 3-time champion, back to back to back, but they fell short. They didn't even get into like the medal round. So they were very disappointing during this summer, and hopefully they'll bounce back in the years to come with the FIBA. All right. Coach, what are you noping on, sir?
Well, I'm noping on the alcoholic fruitcake of an owner for the Indianapolis Colts, Mr. Irsay. Dude, you got the best running back. If he's not the best, he one of the top 3 in the NFL. And you're going to treat him like garbage and just not try to pump him up and say, hey, we got you covered, my brother. We're going to take care of you. You have made some questionable calls in your tenure as owner. Is it time to step down? Possibly. But you got to wake up and try to help your people out. Guys want to play, but they don't want to play for you. You're going to have a mutiny on your hands. Indianapolis is already terrible. You're just making it worse.
All right. Coach and Red, check the chat real quick. All right. Red, it's on you, man. What are you coping on?
Oh, I thought I'd go last with the coach.
No, we in the rotation. You go, and it's the rotation.
I guess coping with Brian James' health and the fact that, dang, he really gonna try to come back. But I guess his health is gonna be a coping thing going forward because that cardiac arrest, something serious, was nothing to play with. I personally think twice about going forward with a basketball career because personally he doesn't need it, and his health is more important. So just give us some real deep thought going forward, Brian, because we don't want you to get hurt, man. You got so many options. You have plenty of opportunities in life thanks to your dad. So I guess that's what I'm coping with right now. The fact that he had the cardiac arrest and the fact that he's gonna try to give it another go again. Be careful, young man. Be careful.
All right. The Bronny James reference after having cardiac arrest since we last been on the show. I am coping on the fact that I'm bracing myself for another Falcons losing season. I've seen the recipe. I've seen this coach for 3 years now not value preseason football. We don't have a well-oiled machine. we need these players to get some game time reps. And for the third season in a row, he's poo-pooed on preseason football. So now that only leads me to believe that the regular season is going to be slow once again, and therefore we might have the same fate that we've been experiencing as Falcons fans for the last 5 seasons, and that is no playoffs. But I hope they prove me wrong. I hope brother little author, entitled author, proves the Reverend wrong, and I'll be happy to say I've been wrong, but I just don't like the recipe that he's been cooking up from preseason to the regular season, and that's why I'm cold.
Now, real. What's all this we talk?
Oh, I said I've never relinquished the fact that I'm a Falcons fan. I just said I'm an emotionless Falcons fan, and we know that people on this show have been known to have 2 teams. We know that. For there's somebody who's a Lakers fan and a Hawks fan in basketball, so therefore I exercise my freedom to have 2 teams.
Well, we got that, but I'm emotional about both of them.
I'm riding with Mahomes, but I've never said I don't root for the Falcons. It just doesn't bother me when they win or lose these days.
Right. So pretty much you're not really even gonna be talking about them, but you'll just be rooting for them silently in your heart.
I hope they do well, but as they win or lose right now, it won't have no effect on them.
Well, we'll talk about them in my Falcons report.
Feel free. All right, Coach, go ahead.
I'm coping with the Milwaukee Bucks, who have heard from their big time star Giannis, let them know under no uncertain terms, I ain't playing with y'all if y'all don't want to get a contender. And they know good and well if they lose him, then to quote the late great Prince, party over, oops, out of time. So Milwaukee Bucks, the gauntlet has been laid down, and your fans are not going to cope very well with y'all losing him. So I'm coping with the Bucks to try to see if they can get somebody to work around Giannis. Maybe. We'll see.
All right, Armani, close this out, man.
And refresh our memory, Coach.
Close it out.
Believe it or not, I'm a coach with Jim Harbaugh.
Oh, gosh. Khaki.
I'm a coach with khaki pants because I don't think that the punishment he receives is fair. I think that the NCAA will eventually, the college football will do a part from NCAA. I don't know if it's going to be in the next couple of years, but it's going to happen because with all the recruiting violations, I mean, we could just cut the BS. Everybody's doing it. Everybody's doing it. So why? And I think this is Jim Harbaugh's second time being suspended. So, I mean, just to point out Harbaugh and even knowing that all the other coaches are doing it, whether they getting caught or not, that remains to be seen. But I just don't think that's fair. So NCAA, y'all got to do something about this and update the recruiting regulations. And I'm a khaki pants. We hope to see you in 3 weeks, man, because I don't think that was fair.
Armani, have you seen the first 3 games he playing?
It don't matter.
Well, let's just also make sure that we on point. Let's realize that what Michigan gave Harbaugh is a self-imposed suspension. They're trying to get out in front of it before the NCAA tries to suspend them, and that is not supposed to come down to 2024. So we'll see. But I have a sneaky suspicion that Harbaugh may not even be in college football to receive the 2024.
He might not be.
Because he's been flirting with
the NFL.
Flirting with going to the pros the past 2 or 3 days. 2 or 3 days. All right. So we're going to get ready to get started real quickly on our regular show. Revenite Nation, they were doping and noping and coping. So let's see what they got to say.
They wide open today.
Yeah, they finally got here. Thank y'all for joining us before next week's show. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. They were wide open, like Coach said. Let's see. Dante, what's going on? Just tuned in. Don't know what's been said so far, but whatever was said, I know Red is wrong about whatever it is.
I don't.
It's gracious. All right, the president
Dante
on the
is
Braves.
not funny.
Braves being the proverbial chump killers they love. New York, the VP is checking. Just got through pre-check here at Hartsville, slamming down the gavel to keep the Red and Red Sports Show moving. Hey, Mr. VP, the gavel was already hit, and the
Sorry.
gavel was used. You might have talked to Maurice Thrower to get access to the new gavel. All right. Maurice Thrower doping on Shakari Richards. Epic win in the 100-meter final. She earned her flowers.
Yeah, I got for that.
Tua had better back up. Vincent, the VP, is doping on Richardson, redeeming herself, and she gets her head back in the game. He has a double dope. Just saw MV7 at the airport. That would be Michael Vick.
Oh man.
These guys, man, keep going off the screen, man.
Yeah, where they going?
Ray's magic number is 23. Thank you, man. We always need that magic number going on. I'm sure Dana Brick is excited about the Braves magic number being. Hey, Sister Dana.
Hey, Sister Dana.
I didn't know you were all tuning in. Glad to have you. VP is noping on John Lynch and the Niners organization. You didn't do your due diligence because if you did, Justin Fields would be our QB. Nonetheless, bang, bang, Niner gang.
We're going to get banged in that first game.
The president is noping on to the Spanish soccer chief that decided to plant his mouth on Blair, you better pray to the good Lord she don't have a black daddy. Maurice Thrower says nope to Robert Ursay and his handling of his star running back. That's a whole mess in Indianapolis. Brother Rasa, good morning to you. VP saying WNT lately seem to be doing more talking than playing quality ball. VP says he's with you, coach. DUI Ursay.
DUI.
Pay that man. He's your team. The president, Supernote, Wander Franco of the Tampa Bay Rays. Get to him. Now he's going to wonder if he will ever play. Good one. The president is also coping on the Falcons, our falconing. We are tying our hopes to a good young hope. Rev, I have the perfect coping mechanism for that. Now, I can't be the perfect, but a decent mechanism because the perfect coping mechanism is wearing number 15 in Kansas City, the defending Super Bowl champs, won. Magic Man Mahomes. That's the perfect mechanism. But y'all got a bunch of Georgia Bulldogs on that Eagles team, so that's a good alternative to the Falcons if it's needed.
Here we go.
Coping, Lonzo Ball, the new Greg Oden. Yeah. That's sad. The VP press for Bronny's speedy recovery. If B-ball doesn't work out, work for your Uncle Mav, Uncle Paul, or his daddy LeBron.
One of them.
He ain't going to be suffering. That's for sure. He's already a millionaire with Neil deals.
Yep.
Arthur Smith should take a page from his daddy and actually learn how to not the FedEx rep.
Oh, my.
Maceo Hurd joining the boys by NCAA. College football doesn't need you. Just like what Armani said, that's on the horizon. Maurice Thorough coping with the confusion that college football is causing with all conference realignments and pettiness of the NCAA. Yeah, that's why the NCAA is not going to be on much longer. A healthy young ho. Oh, my goodness.
That young ho. Oh, my goodness.
Those people who don't understand these young ho references, that's the name of the Atlanta Falcons kicker. All right? That's his last name. By the way, guys, I'm loving the captioning. Glad you're loving it. Glad you're loving it. Sister Brickets is laughing. The VP is going to have to recite the words like Odin did to Thor to get back to gavel. All right, Ricky Wood, thanks so much for watching, and we're all caught up to date. Feel free, Revenite Nation, hit that share button, let somebody know that you're watching the Red and Red Sports Show, and who knows, we might get another fan to join us, to join Revenite Nation. Let's move on, gentlemen, as we go on to our topics for this week. The NCAA preview is here. We know Coach is excited. He's ready to see his quarterback, Brother Caleb, lead his Trojans tonight as they will play Navy. later on tonight.
No.
Red. What?
They got San Jose State.
San Jose State. I'm sorry. That's Notre Dame.
Notre Dame playing Navy.
Notre Dame plays Navy. My bad. I know Red is excited with the three-peat loading for the Georgia Bulldogs. And I know Armani is excited to see if his Roll Tide can at least win the SEC West. I know he's excited about that. That's what he's shooting for. No title this year. He just shooting SEC West. All right, I got you.
They didn't even win that last year, did they?
No, that's why I'm saying they got to be worried about LSU before they worry about.
Things have gotten bad in Third Nation, boy. Well, y'all can even win this.
So, gentlemen, let's jump right into this topic now. What are your thoughts about the incoming season? You can talk about your own team, your expectations of your own team, anything that you think will be a surprise this year. Do you think anybody may underachieve this year? This is your moment to talk about it. We'll start with the one who probably doesn't have national championship aspirations for his team. He just has an SEC West title.
I thought you were talking about Coach. That one. He ain't got no national championship aspirations.
It must be okay.
So, Armani, as you're chewing on whatever you're chewing on, holler us about Roll Tide. Any expectations for this NCAA year? What you got?
I mean, whether y'all like it or not, whether everybody else likes it or not, I mean, if we're not competing for a championship every year, it's a bust. It's either a championship or nothing. So I'm aiming to get to the college football playoff and compete for a championship because that's who we are. That's our pedigree. Whether people like it or not, whether the haters, they go say what they want to say. You know, we have a gauntlet to go through in the SEC West. I'm ready. There's nothing that Nick Saban has done in the past that makes me question his culture. That makes me question, can he get back to a championship? Honestly, I think Nick Saban has at least one more left in him. I mean, he wins one more. Like I said, Alabama can fall off the cliff for all I care. I mean, it's there. That won't happen because we are who we are. And again, we don't know. I will say, and Joel Klatt said it perfectly on his show. When was that? 2-3 days ago? We don't know we really don't know who our quarterback is. And Alabama has been blessed to have I think 3 or 4 seasons of great quarterback play. So now we are in a situation where it's like, okay, who's going to step up? Is it going to be Milroe? Is it going to be the Notre Dame guy that Tommy Rees brought in, or is it going to be the freshman that the 5-star freshman? So, you know, I think that we can compete for a championship. I mean, Alabama's to Alabama. All jokes aside, we're going to be competing for the SEC West because it's a gauntlet. We don't get to play South Carolina. We don't get to play Florida, who's probably not even ranked right now. We don't get to play whoever else is in the SEC East because they're weak. The SEC East is weak and been weak for a minute now. So, you know, hey, we're going to compete. We're going to compete.
So I guess Tennessee was weak last year. I guess South Carolina was weak last year.
South Carolina was weak. South Carolina was weak. Tennessee, you got me there. I give you Tennessee. I don't know why I keep thinking Tennessee is in our comp. My bad. I keep thinking Tennessee is in.
How about y'all just beat somebody named LSU? And I'm afraid y'all might lose to Auburn since y'all got a history of losing to first-year coaches in the SEC West. You know, was it who came in there last year for LSU? Brian Kelly don't even have a team, and they beat Alabama. I mean, come on, man. Y'all,
okay. But the SEC is weak. The SEC East is weak. You can't even win your division. Talking about my division is weak.
It's easy to win it
first.
I didn't know LSU was a gauntlet last year.
Me neither.
I didn't know LSU
was a first-year coach,
and they won the SEC West. I didn't know they.
So let me ask: is the West more competitive than the East?
in
You tell
most
us.
it happened.
You
But
tell us.
Okay.
But how many years was Georgia, Tennessee, and Florida better than the whole pack in the SEC West? How many years that happened? Many years. So it has its ebbs and flows. But next year we don't have to worry about that because there won't be any divisional play. But the bottom line is if Nick Saban has one more championship left in him, he should not be losing to a coach who hasn't even had a chance to recruit for his team.
Hey,
There's no
real. He
excuse.
said.
Plus, he lost to the LSU Tigers when he got a Heisman Trophy winner as his quarterback. Couldn't even win the West with a Heisman Trophy winner. So stop all that foolishness here, man. Stop all this foolishness. And you're gonna talk about.
I think Rev. I think your hate for Alabama kind of blinds you a little bit. It's okay though. I'm gonna let you have it. It's all right.
Here it is.
Let him have it. He's speaking facts. What are you talking about? Let him have it.
Here it is. You all had a Heisman Trophy quarterback. Did not win the championship.
So what does that mean?
But you got championship aspirations this year when you don't even know who your quarterback is.
So let me ask you something. No. Let me ask you something. When has Alabama had won a championship with a Heisman winner quarterback?
My point is, y'all normally come in. Hold on, Tom. Let's. When did y'all win a championship not knowing who your starter is coming into the season? That's the better question to ask.
When we had Jacob Coker.
How many years ago was that?
3-4 years ago.
No, that's longer than that. Because your last championship was with the quarterback who now starts for the New England Patriots.
Yeah, Matt Jones, yeah.
Matt Jones. All right. So again, you in this new age, when has Alabama won a championship with not knowing who their starting quarterback was going to be going into the season? Now, I ain't talking about spring football. We 1 week away, and y'all still don't know who your quarterback is. But you got championship aspirations. Moving on, Red.
Thank you.
I
don't know why. Yeah, go. You can go.
Y'all. I think y'all's hate for Alabama blinds y'all. But I'm gonna let y'all have it.
Time out, Real. Time out, Real. You the one said that your team is nothing when y'all are not winning the championship. So according to you, y'all ain't been nothing the past 2 years. So what are you talking about? You said that, not us. You said that y'all had no quarterback going into the season just now. You said that, not us.
Okay.
All right. And,
how much y'all have? All right.
And the president, you know, he gonna fact check you. Coker won in 2015, so that's not in time recent.
That's almost 10 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. I'm early, but Alabama has the right to take 2 more folding chairs for that.
Oh Lord, not the folding chairs. Oh gosh.
I know. Hey, Rev, let's go on to more dreamers. You know, Coach got to talk about his team. Let's get the dreams out the way.
That's interesting. That's interesting because okay, let me jump around a little bit to conference, and I'm gonna start in the I'll start SEC first. I mean, everybody is already saying Georgia's gonna win it without a doubt. They lost some players, but they still got offense. Right now, Carson Beck is an unknown because nobody knows how good he's gonna be. This is his first year. Everybody's predicting that he could be as good as Bennett, but who knows? But they got Vandergriff in the back, and also, and it needs to be said, they got the 134th ranked schedule out of 133. So, hey, it's there for the taking for Georgia. I mean, you got Tennessee and South Carolina could prove to be a bigger game than everybody is saying is. But right now, the only team I see on there capable of really upsetting the apple cart is Tennessee. Nobody else. So, and I can already point out my team who's going to disappoint a lot of people. They're getting all the hype, the LSU Tigers. I don't believe in Brian Kelly for one bit. I think he's a choke artist, personally. I don't believe it. He won the SEC West last year. Good. He won't win it this year. I think he's a choke artist. He may show up and win some games. I don't think they're going to win this year. I'm with you, Armani. I don't think they're gonna be as good. I don't like LSU.
I don't know nothing. I don't know what I'm talking about, so I'm gonna be quiet. I don't know nothing.
So I'm gonna move away from them.
Just prove that.
Moving on.
Go ahead to the ACC, Coach, because since you're going to do a whole conference, you say you're going to go to the conference by conference. So I want you to take 10 minutes on each conference. Who you got in the ACC?
I ain't gonna go that long. In the ACC, my homeboy Trey Benson, who's from my hometown of Greenville, Mississippi, the running back, I think he's gonna get Florida State over the hump this year and gonna win the ACC title. Even though North Carolina don't have enough, Clemson got the dude. I forgot his name, quarterback. So he gonna be all right. But I think what's the name? Florida State may win that one. They're not gonna get a national championship game, but picture, but they're gonna win it. Now I can go to my conference, and of course I'm going.
I want you to say your conference for last, because that's
okay.
Big 12. Big 12.
Big 10. Michigan and Ohio State. Who else? Somebody said Penn State. This is their year to make some noise. I don't believe it. Mr. Franklin, I feel sorry for you. Do what you do, but I just don't think you got enough to push yourself over Michigan, Ohio State. Michigan gets Blake Corin back, the big-time running back, so they're going to be strong. And then Ohio State still got Marvin Harrison healthy, who can out-jump anybody. So Michigan, Ohio State there.
Who wins it?
Huh?
Who wins it?
Ooh. Ohio State.
All right, go to the Big 12 before you go to the Pac-12.
Who we still got in the Big 12? There's Texas and Oklahoma still.
They're still in Big 12.
Another choker, Steve Sarkisian. Texas is going to the SEC. Everybody say, "Oh, that's going to be a big addition for the SEC." Sure, it will. He's going to lose to everybody there except for maybe Vanderbilt or somebody else. Texas not as good as everybody wants to hire. They always put them in the top 10 or top 15, and they end up falling off the map. Oklahoma, Brent Venables, he got a lot to prove because they ready to fire him.
Who wins it?
Baylor.
Baylor. Why Baylor?
I think they got like a lot of guys returning on offense, so they big time. They can sneak up on some people. Even though a lot of people not giving them any credit, I think Baylor win that TCU, well, that's next week. We talk about them in prime time in that game. That's going to be funny. That's going to be an interesting game.
All right, now to the Pac-12. Tell us why the USC Trojans going to win the Pac-12 and why they'll be a contender for the college championship.
Because most of the recruiting they did and the transfer portal they did was defense. Last year, they couldn't stop a nosebleed. Ain't no need to try to lie. They couldn't stop a nosebleed. And that was the reason they lost those last few games. Well, other than Caleb Williams getting hurt. But their defense was terrible. Alec Grinch should have been fired on the spot. But they didn't. They gave him a chance. They said, all right, we're going to give you a chance to recruit, and we're going to try to get some defense for it. They got the boy from Georgia, Bear Alexander. They got a couple of five-star freshmen playing. And that's going to be – they said they improved. I'm not counting San Jose State. I'm not counting Nevada. I want to see them play a team, maybe Notre Dame. Somebody said Arizona. Man, they beat Arizona to sleep. I ain't counting them. When they play Notre Dame, I want to see if that defense is ready to make the next league because there's no way they can make it to the championship round, the Final Four, without a defense.
So what are you going on record today to say it's too premature to say that USC has championship aspirations?
Very.
Okay.
Because I don't trust the defense yet.
Okay.
Until I see, because the offense is nobody in the country can stay on par with Caleb Williams, best quarterback in the country, without a doubt. And his offense, he got some new wideouts. He got Singer coming in from Arizona. He got some running backs coming. Their offense is going to put up about 400 yards a game. Yeah, Maceo, exactly. He better believe in defense this year if he wants to win anything, because that's the bugaboo. And when they said defense wins championships, that's the way he's going to win it this year. They win championships. Red, you can shake your head, but I guarantee you, if their defense is anything, and see, here's the thing, though. They don't have to just flat out shut people out, all they have to do is stop them and slow them down. They don't have to shut anybody out. They just have to stop them. So, hey, it's all or nothing for Lincoln Riley this year. It's all or nothing. And Red, you can let, y'all ain't got nothing to stop y'all except UGA Monica University getting arrested. That's the only way that ain't gonna stop y'all driving 85 and a 55 if they don't get no players arrested.
Red, you see this, man? This is pathetic. That's how we gonna combat us, coach. You yourself just said you worried about your own defense, so technically, I guess I'm in the right for doubting USC because that's my main reason for doubting them is their defense. So if their own fan is worried about their defense, I guess I don't need to be worried about USC at all.
And we have a tougher schedule as well. We play
right. So why do I need to worry about USC then?
Let's just go on record to say why Georgia's schedule is especially weak this year, and that's because they were scheduled to play Oklahoma, and because Oklahoma is coming to the SEC, the SEC made them take Oklahoma off the schedule. So let's not use as an argument Georgia's schedule, even though it's very weak and it's probably going to allow them to be undefeated, but it's not their fault. It wasn't.
Well, let's just put it this way,
it wasn't like they did a Nick Saban who likes to play all his hard games on a neutral site.
Not our fault.
He rarely goes into another team's stadium. I'll give him credit for going into Texas last year, which was one of the first times he did it. But normally his toughest games outside the SEC is on some neutral field. But go ahead, Coach, before Red gets started. What are we about to make?
Two things about what you say?
You say you can go. Go ahead.
Oh, two things about Georgia that's question marks. Carson Beck, the pre-hype, is he gonna be as good as SEC? Georgia quarterbacks. And two, you lost some hitters on defense. Is that defense gonna be as strong?
All right, now just two quick things. Let's start with the latter. Georgia lost a truckload of defenders 2 years ago. They just reloaded.
Right.
And they won no championship. Then they already had depth, according to the experts. Carson Beck is probably a better talent than Stetson Bennett. Stetson Bennett just had the experience on his hand, plus he had age on his hand. So I think Carson Bennett might be, Carson Beck might be an upgrade, but to your point, the jury's out. All right, let's go to Red. Red, tell us why UGA is going to three-peat. Tell us why.
Because we the best, man. And there's no doubt about it. We have no competition. There is no threat for us in this country. None whatsoever. We got the easiest schedule. We got the best team. We got the best defense. We don't have to have the best quarterback. We just got to have a guy to come out there, manage the game, don't make the mistakes, and don't blow it. And I think Carson Beck is very capable of doing that. So, personally, only thing that's going to stand in our way is ourselves. And since the offseason is over, where the players are getting in trouble, and the season is beginning, where they actually stay out of trouble, hey, sky's the limit, baby. Three-peat. And if anybody got anything to say to get me worried, I'm listening, but I ain't heard anything yet. So I'm flying on cloud 9, baby.
So you proclaiming your team, even though like Rev said, even though you got depth, even though you got everything, like Rev said.
There you go, Coach. They're gonna get you with that depth.
Yeah, even though you got a bunch of players, you saying they the best defense in the country even after all those losses?
Flying on cloud 9, baby. That's what I'm saying. Have I said anything different? The best. B-E-S-T. Best. Simply the best. Woo! Better than all the rest. Yes.
Coach, let me ask you this. Would you say that Kirby Smart is one of the best defensive minds in college football?
Kirby has moved up to be one of the best coaches in the country with what he's doing, recruiting wise, and everything. What he's done, he knows it. He knows his team now. He knows how to put together a good team.
Okay, all right. So would you bet
Thanks for the
on?
compliments, coach.
Let me ask you this: if you were a betting man, would you bet on UGA, their defense reloading and being one of the best defenses, or would you bet on USC being a better defense?
Oh my God, Rick! No, you didn't ask that question. No, you didn't. I told you. Our team has Alex Grinch is lucky he has a job after the way we ended the season last year. He's lucky he got a job. And everybody knows our offense, no offense is better in the country than ours. Yes, our defense it needs to try to stop somebody. Because again, we couldn't stop a nosebleed last year. Teams were putting up points. Our offense just was so good, we outscored people. That's
So
all.
basically, you would bet on Kirby Smart reloading on defense.
Of course, right now, yeah. I said our defense got a lot to prove. They got a whole lot to prove. They got to get some people.
Real quickly, before the season prediction, who's winning the national championship? Red says Georgia. Who you got, Armani? I know it's hard to say Georgia, but go.
Because Georgia, even though Georgia's going to be in the playoff, man, I think Tom Monken leaving is what's going to hurt Georgia. I think Carson Beck is a good talent, and I think Georgia going to have the defense, but man, it's hard to recover. Even though y'all did recover from when what's his name left before. Who was there before Tom Monken?
Mike Bobo, that's who their coordinator is now.
Bobo. Oh, that's who the court. Oh, okay. So, hey, Georgia's going to be there, but honestly, it's either going to be us or Ohio State.
Oh my God! Seriously?
Oh my God! So it's going to be y'all who
Okay.
know who your quarterback going to be. Okay, all right, man.
It don't matter.
Go. It does matter.
It don't
Y'all
matter.
don't have no confidence in that kid that was Bryce Young's backup. Come on, man. Y'all ain't got no
It
confidence.
don't matter. It don't matter.
That kid, man, please. It does matter. Y'all
It don't
couldn't
matter.
win.
The same team that
Hey,
didn't
hey,
have
Rev.
that was calling for Stetson Bennett's job before y'all even won the championship.
But y'all
Hey,
couldn't win the
Rev.
championship with a Heisman Trophy winner.
It don't. We
Hey,
don't have to
Rev.
win with a Heisman Trophy winner. We
But-
win championships without the quarterback being a Heisman Trophy winner.
Okay, but y'all
Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
Y'all gonna win a championship with a guy y'all don't even know who our quarterback is yet. Okay, I got you.
Hey, Real. Hey, Real. I'm going to sound like one of them contestants on Family Feud when you tell them, are you going to really get an answer? It's up there. It's up there. It's up there. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. Okay.
Now the sports crush guru says this, Armani.
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry. Now someone smoking funny cigarette. Not that one. I'm sorry, brother Dana. That's funny.
No, not that comment, Dana.
Mayfield's in 3 games.
You wanna? Hey, I want everybody to laugh because y'all we've been down this road before. I just want y'all to know. So I'm gonna be quiet. Because
let me just say this to my young friend. All good things must come to an end.
you need to be saying that to your own team.
And Nick Saban being on the throne is starting to come to an end. There's a new sheriff in town.
You need to say that to your own team.
I can't say that to my own team when they're the back-to-back champions.
Okay.
They're the defending
sheriff.
champions. So how can I say that to my own team?
It's called physics. What goes up must come down.
Right. You're on the downward spiral. Your team is on the downward.
Y'all said y'all say this. I'm gonna shut up because I already know. Y'all, we've been here before. So okay, y'all right.
Rev, your
Yes.
Final Four, Rev.
Let's see. I'm gonna go Michigan, Georgia. I'm gonna go USC. I'm going to believe in Caleb Williams because he is that dude, that quarterback. And that fourth one is up in the air. If I had to predict, it may come from somebody in the SEC. But I'll go Big 12. I'll roll with your Baylor pick right now. I'll
Wow.
roll with your Baylor pick. All right,
Okay.
somebody's doing something.
Armani, cut that lawnmower off.
It ain't me. Ain't nobody cutting grass around me. I don't think.
All right. Yeah.
I
All right,
guess
go ahead.
I'll go.
Well, we know
I'll
Georgia's going. Who's your Final Four?
UGA. I guess I'll go USC until their defense so bad that I can't trust them no more. But for right now, USC, Ohio State, and actually, I give Alabama. I mean, they're gonna
No,
do
we don't know
anything
who
when
our
they get to the
quarterback
place.
is. No. We don't know who our quarterback is. No.
Okay,
Let's keep
well,
the
hey,
same energy. Let's keep the same energy. Let's keep the same energy.
If you don't believe in your team, that's on you. Dude,
Let's
you can't
keep the
overtalk
same
me.
energy.
I don't care what you say.
Energy. Let's keep
You got the same energy.
Let's keep the
So
same
you are
energy.
saying I am keeping the same energy. What are you talking about? I didn't say y'all were gonna win it.
How we don't?
I said we were gonna win.
How you gonna pick them to go to the playoff and we don't even know who our quarterback is?
Well, that's what you said. That's what you said. That's what you said, not me.
That ain't what I said. I didn't say that.
Armani,
you did say that.
Armani, there is a difference.
He don't even believe in his own team.
I believe in my team. It ain't me. It's y'all.
Armani, calm down for a second. There's a difference.
For real, emotional self.
There's a difference between
the nerve, Red. The nerve.
Listen to me, my man. Listen. There's a difference between qualifying for the Final Four versus actually winning the championship. So you can get to the tournament, but winning it is a totally different thing. All right. So he could say Alabama can go to the Final Four, but he doesn't say they're going to win it because he believes Georgia's going to win. Okay.
Okay.
I swear that was so simple to understand. I don't know why he got so emotional.
All right, Coach, I'm mutual.
Going on about what you said. That's
your Final Four is USC, Georgia, and who else?
Ohio State and dark horse, Florida State.
Man, you really ride with your home folk, boy. I tell you. All right,
who wins? Florida.
Yeah, they got that guy from Greenville, Mississippi, running the ball for them. So who winning the championship?
USC if their defense is there. No need to try to. Like I said, our defense doesn't have to be great. They just have to be better than last year.
So, whose defense do you bank on being there? Georgia's or USC?
I think our offense can beat up on every defense in the country. We just got to stop somebody. Huh?
Including ours? Ours too?
You think Georgia's offense better than USC's?
No, he's saying Georgia's defense.
You think Georgia's offense better than USC?
Georgia's defense got exposed last year in the tournament.
I'm asking you, Red, is Georgia's offense better than USC? I'm asking you.
That wasn't. You said you could beat up on our defense.
No. I'm asking you that question.
Yep. No, you go back to your original statement. You just said USC can beat up on. You just said USC can beat up on our defense.
Did you not? And then I came back with. I said it yet, and then I came back with. Is your offense better than our offense?
You didn't come back with anything because you didn't answer the question yet. So you said USC can beat up.
I said USC can beat up on any defense in the country. I repeat myself. Our offense is that good.
So who's the game changer at wide receiver?
Brendan Rice and Dorian Singer.
So he's better than that Harrison kid at Ohio State.
No, nobody's better than Harrison.
So who y'all got that's better than those wide receivers that Alabama had? Jameis Williamson or Williams, Judy.
Mention.
Yeah, who y'all got that's on that?
Singer is pretty good.
All right,
See?
so stop right there. Stop right there. You give me pretty good.
Okay, nobody's better than those guys.
Let's understand.
No, who's that kid that you just said? Not Singer, but who's the other dude?
Rice
He ain't. But are they better than those cats that I just mentioned? Is he
from
better?
Alabama.
That remains to be seen. That guy,
All right,
I mean, he just as fast.
So my point is to beat Georgia and to expose Georgia's defense, you got to have a mobile quarterback who also has explosive wide receivers. That we do not know that USC has that.
Yeah.
So let's slow down. Let's slow down on this great offense because the best wide receiver y'all had that came from Pittsburgh is now in the NFL. So let's slow down a little bit on USC being this offensive juggernaut when we don't even know who their wide receivers are that are going to be very explosive. Okay? What I do know is Georgia's defense is going to be there. Now, until you find me the wide receiver that's going to expose Georgia's defense, that secondary got better because Georgia had a bunch of freshmen in the secondary last year, and now they got one more year.
You with Ringo?
Ringo gone.
That's what I'm saying.
But you got that kid Starks.
Okay.
Safety. You got that other kid who started as a cornerback. Can't remember his name last year as a true freshman. Georgia's reloaded. So let's say this. USC, we know they're going to be good because Caleb Williams is the real deal. We do know that. Mm-hmm. But to beat Georgia, you have to have an explosive wide receiver. So we don't know that USC has that.
So it's going to remain to be seen once the season starts playing out and seeing what guys can do. It's a lot unknown. So we just got to see. We going by what we see right now. And there's a lot unknown still in the season. We're not accounting for certain things, but I think it's going to be good.
All right, gentlemen, let's pause right there, man. We just did an hour on the Red and Red Sports Show. We're going to come back after halftime, going into some basketball, five praise report. So we're going to have to hit it. All right, let's get ready. Halftime. Hopefully everybody enjoyed the first half of the Red and Red Sports Show. We gave y'all our dope note code. You already see this podcast. It's not just football. We're going to come back on the other side with some NBA talk, NFL talk, some sports talk on this Sports Talk Show. Coming back during the second half of the Red and Red Sports Show. We're coming right back. And we are back on the Red and Red Sports Show as we come back from halftime. And we're looking forward to get into some basketball and some other topics. We got a few people who said a couple of things real quickly. Let's see. Let's get these comments in right quickly. Maurice Thrower said, obviously got tired of us talking about hypothetical. So let's see what happens. The president says Georgia, USC, Ohio State, Michigan. My initial thoughts, but there's going to be a sleep. He got it in his gut feeling. If he says he got it in his guts, then there's going to be a sleeper because you know the president's gut does not fail him. All right, we're going to move on real quick. What you say, Coach?
Oh, read what Eric Neighbor said.
Watch out for my turf. We're going to watch out for them being in line. That's what we're going to do.
Maybe in basketball. Maybe in basketball.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen, let's go real quickly. We're got 5 minutes, hot takes on these topics right here. We know that there was big talk during the offseason with the NBA. Damian Lillard was requested a trade. He demanded he be traded to Miami, but there's no trade that has taken place. As we get ready to go into the regular season, we're about a month away from training camp and a month and a half away from the beginning of the NBA season. Where does Damian Lillard land, or does he stay in Portland? Let's say what you got, Coach. What you got?
I'm trying to stay awake when they talk about Damian Lillard. I'm like, what, Damian? Stay in Portland. Miami, the other choice, but they can't get that done. But Damian Lillard, stay in Portland, my brother, and carve it out. You say you love Portland, you love the people there. Stay in Portland and try to get one. They tried to put some people around you, but it's okay. Stay in Portland, Damian.
Red. Does Damian Lillard stay in Portland, or he's on the move to Miami?
Well, had his dumb butt spoke up a few years ago or months ago, this could have been a different situation. Honestly, Rev, I honestly don't know where this situation going to end up because I mean he spoke up about a month or two ago and he's still there. I mean, you would have thought if Miami really wanted them, they would have already put together a package for him. And like I say, nothing has really happened. The thing is, Damian Lillard shouldn't have signed that extension before he had a serious talk with the Portland front office and found out what they plans going for the future. But he didn't. He went ahead, signed the extension, took the money, and now a month later you want to make a change. Well, things don't happen that quickly, Damon. That's why you should have spoke up earlier. That's why you need to have some sense up in that rock head of yours and stop being this loyalist who now probably gonna be stuck in a situation you don't want to be in because you stayed in Portland for too doggone long when people were telling you, dude, you need to demand a trade. You are never gonna win in Portland. So he finally made the trade demand, but real, like I say, it looked like it might be too late. I mean, you want to hope that he can find a deal, but like Coach said, dude, you may have to come to the fact that you might have to start the season in Portland and maybe see if they can work out a mid-season deal. But with the way the new season's setting up and all this mid-season tournament and stuff like that, it's going to be hard to pull off a deal when we are going into a very uncertain future in the NBA, especially a very uncertain process.
Good points. Armani, does he stay in Portland or does he make his way to Miami?
He's gonna stay in Portland. Miami's not willing to give up what the asking price is for Damian Lillard. The price is too high, and they're not willing to go that high. So I mean, he dug this hole himself. Like Red saying, you should have looked at the trajectory of what that team was going to do before you even signed that extension, but you saw the dollar signs and went crazy. Now you stuck and you can't go nowhere. So, hey, you're gonna be in Portland. They are a very mediocre franchise. Borderline, y'all know my favorite word, poverty. So, I mean, this is where you're gonna be.
That was a good one, man. I love that one. I love that phrase.
That's where you're gonna be.
No, you say poverty franchise, right?
Poverty franchise. You're gonna be.
Yeah.
Now, if you could have had a chance, because I'm gonna just throw this out there. Harden he don't want to be here. That's all I'm gonna say. He don't want to be here. That's all I'm saying.
Well, it's gonna be hard for those two teams to work out a deal with each other. I mean, you would just be sending Harden into Portland where he ain't gonna want to be here, just be making trouble up there. Like I say, switching them out for each other.
I'll trade them the Rocky statue.
Alrighty. We give us some realistic deals.
Man.
All right. Well, I think he's going to wind up in Miami. The pieces that the Miami Heat are trying to send Portland's way, they have no need for him. The biggest chip that Miami's trying to send their way is Tyler Hero, but they don't want him because they already have Anthony Simons. And then they just picked up Scoot Henderson, who looks like he's going to be a real good ball player.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, may be the franchise player in the years to come for Portland. So unless they're offering like Bam Adebayo, I don't see how that deal is going to get done. And even now, draft picks are not that essential because you're basically getting a prospect who's coming to the league just to sit on the bench for a few years and make millions of dollars. So draft picks are not that attractive in these days. So I see him staying in Portland. He'll cope. He's making 50 million plus, so he'll be all right. Ain't nobody ought to be sad for Dame. And like Red pointed out, that if he really wanted to contend and be on a contender, then he would have never signed that extension. All right, he says Dame has Rolls Royce aspirations with a Cadillac budget. And Corey makes a great analogy, reminds me of Beal and Wall. That's how Portland feels that like that. He also says Harden to Atlanta.
Okay, Anthony, this is my show, okay? Stop trying to come on my show and take over, okay? This is my show.
Whataburger.
Happy to have y'all back. Thank you, bro. Maurice Thrower says Armani Newsom Portland is playing too many games to make a long story short. Okay.
Right.
And Anthony Dame got as much chances as leaving as Siakam coming to the Hawks.
Man, they ain't gonna never make that deal, Anthony. It's like every time I turn on my phone, I see a trade proposal, some kind of dream proposal, but it's never a deal that's completed. It's always a proposal. Stop. The Hawks are not making any deals. Nobody has any respect for Landry Fields. They should have never made those front office moves. Travis was the guy. Landry ain't the guy, and that's why the Siakam deal ain't fell through yet. The Siakam deal is just like the Dame deal. You got a bunch of front office that don't know what they're doing, and nobody respecting them because nobody want to deal with them.
All right, let's go to James Harden in Switzerland.
Armani.
Harden opted in, believing that he was going to be traded, and now since Daryl Morey says they cannot find the type of deal that they want, that they're going to keep James Harden in the city of brotherly love. That's really not showing Harden too much love these days. And now James Harden, all the way in China, went off and called Daryl Morey a big lie. So, with that being said, where does Harden wind up, Armani? We'll start with you.
Yeah.
Come on, Armani. Come on, it's your topic, big dog. Give us that passion you gave me about 10 minutes ago.
James Harden is going to retire because we not trading you to where you want to go. You done been talking junk to the owner. You've been talking junk to the GM. Hey, you listen, brother. You done digged yourself a hole. So now guess what? We have the leverage. We don't have to trade you. You don't have to go anywhere. Don't come. Don't play. That's fine. We will find you, and we will find you, and we will find you, and then we're going to get your raggedy A-double, you know what, up out of here. So, hey, fine. You don't got to be here. That's fine. Guess what? You're not hurt. You hurting yourself when you're hurting us because the Six is gone. We're going to move on. We're going to move on. And your career is short. You have maybe 2 years or 3 years left in you, and that's it. So, James Harden, keep doing what you're doing, brother. Keep doing what you're doing.
So, are you willing for Harden to come back to your team? Because when they first lost, you said they could basically trade him for nothing, and you'd be good. So, if Harden comes back, does that make them a championship contender?
Nope.
Explain why.
He a deer in headlights. He's a deer in headlights. When the lights are bright, his eyes get real big. He get a Matt Ryan stare. So, I mean, James Harden We needed you last year. You didn't show up. That little step back three, it ain't working no more. You try to drive to the hole, that ain't working no more. It's over for James Harden's career, in my honest opinion. When you start calling out NBA executives and throwing them under the bus, all the rest of the executives gonna be like, no, brother, no. Because I mean, they all in cahoots, whether we believe it or not. Even though they're competing against each other, but when you start disrespecting the executives, man, I mean, it can get sour, and things have gotten so sour in Philly. I don't think no other team is going to willing to give up any kind of compensation to get James Harden. So James Harden is over, and I don't want to see Philadelphia 76 uniform ever again.
All right, Red, what's the future for James Harden?
The future right now, Rev, it's up in the air. It's up in the air, and I'm gonna tell you why it's up in the air. And Armani, very good take, man. I agree pretty much with everything you said, but this is where James Harden is right now, Rev. James Harden is the type of person who has burned every bridge that he ever had. And you know what he's doing right now? He's crying out. He's crying out because, like Armani said, you have no more leverage. The times you had leverage, you burned those bridges. And now that all those bridges are burned, you're crying out. You're crying out in places I mean, you over in China talking to a group of, it seems like you talking to a group of young folks and kids when he calling your GM a liar. I'm like, dude, face it. You got your, like Armani said, you put yourself in this situation. You don't burn every bridge you don't have. You started back with the Rockets, you burned every bridge there till you assed out. Then you went to the Nets. You got tired over there. Then you assed out and whined and cried your way out of there. Then you go to the Sixers. Okay, you stay there for a year or two, cry, whine, ask out when you don't get your way over there. And it's just like, dude, you cry and whine, you try and cry your whine your way out of every single situation you get in. You burn almost every bridge, and now when you give the GM, the team, some leverage over you, and they don't do what you want, you stuck. And now you want to whine, calling your GM a liar. Dude, this is the business of the NBA. You think they don't have players sign deals, try to make moves, and when they can't make a move, they have to go back to the player and say, sorry, I tried to make the move, but you're just going to have to stay with us a little while longer so we can get the best move for our team going forward. It's not just about you, man. They got to get the best deal for the Sixers going forward. And if they don't get the best deal for the Sixers going forward, they not just going to trade you just to trade you, homeboy. That's not how business works, okay? So if they got to hold on to you a little while longer, then they just have to hold on to you. I'm sure Daryl Moore told you, James, we're gonna pick up your deal, and if we can find the right move for you, we'll move you along. But guess what? They didn't find the right move. Not the right move for you, the right move for both parties, okay? So, dude, suck it up, be a man, and stop crying. You do this every time you don't get your way. You do this every time you feel stuck in a situation you don't want to be in. This is the NBA. You're a grown man. You're making millions of dollars. Shut up and freaking play. Shut up. Nobody care about you, James Harden.
Don't play for us. Go to the Hornets.
Coach, jump in there, Coach. Your thoughts. What's next for James Harden?
It's James Harden right here. Let's see.
Oh.
That's James Harden right there in a nutshell. James Harden will be playing for the Shanghai Sharks in the Chinese League. He can go over there and be like Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard scoring 80-something points in a game. Imagine how much Harden can do over there with the Shanghai Sharks, one of those teams that he can play with. I mean, I've never seen a cat that's so talented, but so much like the NBA version of a sissy. That's what I mean. Just every time something doesn't go your way, I quit. And yet, how many titles have you won, James? Zero.
Man.
Zero. Nothing. You haven't got the cachet to be talking about. I want to do this. I want to do I want to do this. I want to do that. You have no leverage, James. It's okay. Time, and maybe you need to retire. I'm sure they'll put you in the Hall of Fame, maybe. But uh trying to go, you want to go to the Clippers, you want to go to the such and such, you want to go to UCLA. I don't know where you want to go, but you just keep trying to go everywhere. And you have shown everywhere you have gone, just like y'all have said, soon as it doesn't go your way, you want out instead of toughing it up and playing ball. So I have no love for you, James. You're gonna go down as one of the most talented sissies in NBA history. And that's the only way I can put it, because you burn bridges, you shoot down owners. I mean, who wants you to play unless somebody just totally desperate and try to say, well, that's the guy that we can add to our team to win a championship. I don't see it happening. You're not that player. Remember, Game 7, Montgomery Biscuit. Game 7 against the who was that? The Celtics or whatever, whoever he put. Game 7, Philadelphia. That's all everybody. That's the only thing people need to see now. Game 7, and that's it. That's all they're gonna judge you by.
Well, that's pretty much why the Philadelphia fans are not moved by Harden's complaints and demands to be traded, because Harden initially wanted max money, and he did opt in year before last with the notion that he would take less money so that the Sixers could sign somebody like a PJ Tucker and add more depth to their bench. But unfortunately, because he didn't show up for games 6 nor 7 against the Celtics, that's why Sixers fans can care less about him pouting. And now he's come to the reality that a lot of boisterous athletes have come to realize that your popularity, that your being on top of the hill is only for a season. He's coming to realize that the Bible is right. You reap what you sow. So
Real.
you need a chance to shut down different teams by demanding a trade. Now the Sixers have turned the tide on him, and they're shutting down his demands. He has no leverage because nobody is shaking up heaven nor earth to work up a deal to bring them to his team. So now he's in pout mode. And we're probably going to see him pout to his own to his own detriment, which is going to cause him to probably be out the NBA much sooner rather than later, because he could probably stay on an NBA franchise, make about 10 to 12 million for the next 4 or 5 years. But because of him being a narcissist, he's probably going to wind up being out the league in the next 2 to 3 years.
Red, weren't you in the house of one of those games?
I was in the house for Game 6. I saw it live and in living color. I saw them have the lead, have a chance to put the Celtics away. And they choked. And Harden helped with the choking. Now, here's the question as we get ready to switch gears. Will this situation cause Joel Embiid to start wanting to move out of Philadelphia?
Without a doubt.
Yeah, and you know what? Y'all know what I said it, and we've talked about it. I said maybe it is time to blow it up. Maybe it is time. We tried. I mean, we tried everything. Well, I'm gonna say everything because I mean, you started off with Ben Simmons can't shoot. He couldn't shoot. He can't shoot nothing. Man, you can get this man the best kind of John Wick training you can give him, and he couldn't shoot a can off a porch. So I mean, and then now you bring in we did good with Maxey, but Maxey, he's a good piece to build around. But Maxey, again, I think he has to show us that he can be that guy, because right now it's like Maxey, like you young. You know, you showing your youth. It's like you scared to take the big jump. So, I mean, if Joel Embiid, I mean, for the right price, he can go. I'm sorry to say it like that, but hey, we tried. We tried this formula already, and I know Fred, the
All right, come
Hawks.
on home, baby. Come on, Joel. I know. I just want Joel's girlfriend to be like, what ATL? Boy, that's a nice city, and we need to try that out. Please, Joel, girlfriend, just please say just a
Oh,
little bit
yeah.
of Atlanta.
He's now a married man.
Oh
Oh yeah,
yeah,
that's right.
he
That's
is
right.
man.
His
That's his
wife.
wife now.
That's
That's
right.
right.
Him and Trey Young got married over the off season. So please, Miss B, just whisper in his ear. Joel, boy, I would love to see what that ATL is all about. Trade me. Come on, Miss B. Boy, I just need Trey. That is the one piece that'll keep Trey Young here, and that'll take us to where we need to be.
Yeah.
No matter what you put around them two.
Because I'm not against. I'm not against it. I mean, like I said, we tried and look, Sixers fans. I know y'all hear me. Whether we like it or not, what goes up,
Build
like I
it.
said,
Tear it
must come
up.
down.
That real favorite word. Tear it up.
Yeah,
Tear it up,
tear it up.
Sixers. Yeah, and tear it up. Y'all ain't
It's
gonna
time.
win. Y'all window is over with, man.
Yeah.
Joel, just go ahead and ask out. Harden, get out. Joel, ask out. Maxey, that's your team. Build around Maxey.
Build
Just let
around
him stay
Maxey.
there.
Yep.
All right, gentlemen. Thank y'all for that basketball talk. We're going to move to our 5-5 portion of the show where we have 5 minutes that we have dedicated to each of these next 5 topics. Our panelists will have 1 minute to speak very freely about the particular subject at hand. They have 45 seconds single screen, 15 seconds full screen. And if they go beyond that minute, Red is a living witness that he will be muted. So we know that. So here we are with our 5 for 5. We got some real good topics. Let's get ready to get started. VP, I know what you're about to type in the chat. You're about to tell me to cue Lunas. So we're going to do on it because we're going to do it rather because we got 5 on it. So get ready, coach. We're going to start with you. So 5 for 5. Let me get my timer ready so I can keep y'all honest to the time constraints during this
I got the tie ready. I got the
show.
tie ready.
I got it. Trust me. I got it. All right, first topic for 5 for 5 in Revenite Nation. Feel free to type in your comments after the panelists have gone their respective 1 minute. We're going to your comments for the next minute, and then whatever's left, I may comment or something. Here we go. Shannon Sharp joins first take. What are your thoughts, Coach? Go.
Well, I mean, with him talking football, that's going to help the show out. They already got some decent guys on there talking football. So Shannon just adds to it. He doesn't have to be burdened by Skip anymore. He can speak freely on football, and that's going to help the show. The only thing that I don't think he's going to sweat as much as Michael Irvin did. So that might be a good thing for the show. But, yeah, I think it's going to work.
All right. Red, what you got?
It might work at the start, but I don't know. These two seem like two alpha, two very high opinionated males. Stephen A. Be careful what you ask for now, because Skip wanted Shannon too, and something tell me Shannon is not gonna let Stephen A. overtalk him, especially when it comes to football topics. Honestly, I kind of can't wait to see this right here, because I kind of want to see Shannon's reaction when Stephen try to overtalk him like he overtalked them other weaklings, them other weak NFL pundits that he be having on the show. So Shannon, bring that fire to Stephen A. Smith. Don't let him tell you nothing. You know way more football than him, and you better act like it. So looking forward to it.
Armani, what you got?
This is great. This is gonna be real good, very interesting. I don't think there's gonna be too much. I don't think it's gonna be too much for Stephen A. Smith because I think he respects the pedigree of having somebody like a Shannon Sharp, who is a Hall of Fame tight end, 3-time Super Bowl winner. So, I mean, hey, this is gonna be a good show, and I'm ready for it. I think this is gonna be better than Undisputed to me.
All right, let's see what Revenite Nation has to say. If they got any comments, Shannon and Steve, I can hardly wait. That's Sister Mama Harris. First Take needed Shannon. Unc didn't need them. It'll help the ratings on the days that he's there. I can't wait to hear Uncle Shay Shay's countryism. I got you. Let me just chime in real quickly. I think this is a great landing spot for Shannon. I think because of the point that I believe Red made earlier, because they're two alphas, I think that's why it's only best that they debate 2 out of 5 days, because it might be difficult to debate 5 days out the week. The good news is that they're debating the days coming off the football weekend, which are Monday and Tuesday, and that should really be helpful. I do hope as they go into the show
Good point.
that Stephen A understands that Shannon Sharp is no longer the undercard. Shannon Sharp is no longer the appetizer. Shannon Sharp comes with main meal gifts. So you
Yep.
need to treat them accordingly, which Skip Bayless failed to do because Shannon Sharp even showed before he left Undisputed through his podcast, Club Shay Shay, that he is that dude. So as long as Stephen A respects Shannon as an alpha, as a main course personality, I think the show can do exceptionally well, especially on the days that they are together. All right.
Rev, that's a good point that they only picked 2 days to work with each other. Yeah, you're right. I don't think they can handle 5 days.
That's
Yep.
enough.
Sister Brickett said he just partnered with Colin Cowherd and took Clay Shay Shay to the volume. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh
Uh,
yeah, he didn't take his podcast and that on ESPN.
all right. And then co-equal. That's right. That's what they got to do. All right. Let's get to the next topic. Good conversation. RB's careers are dwindling. Running backs are struggling to find their place in the marketplace when it comes to salary. Is the position dwindling? Is the importance of the running back position dwindling? What you got, Red? You got it.
Okay. I believe it is, fellas. I believe that the traditional running backs paydays are coming to an end. I believe only the top tier. I mean, you got to be special running back to think you're gonna get a good payday in the NFL. Everybody else, I think teams just gonna pay them maybe not even market value, just gonna be on each situation. How important is the running back to my particular scheme? If it's not that important, you can forget it. They'll just keep doing the dual running back scheme, but these teams are gonna figure out ways to not invest big dollars into the running back position because other positions have become too too valuable and too important these days. Running backs, you can switch them in and out, and only the special type running backs will get paid.
Armani.
I think it's like Red said, it's gonna be scheme fit. If you like running the football, you're gonna pay. You're gonna pay your running back. Teams like Atlanta, teams like the Giants and Minnesota, those guys like to run the football. So, I mean, if you're not in one of those scheme fit organizations, then you're gonna get the bare minimum. Unfortunately, the running back position with the NFL transitioning into a pass happy league, the position has lost his touch. So hey, it is what it is. So I hope that we can. I know B. John Robinson will get paid when the time comes.
Woo, better save every penny of that money.
All right, Coach, what you got?
Uh,
Go ahead, Coach.
I think you're not going to be able to work have teams without running back because I see running back picking themselves back up and becoming the main focus of the game. People talking about they're not going to pay them, and but I think the running backs are going to establish themselves as a vital part of the offense because some of these teams, if they didn't have running back, they wouldn't be able to function. So I think they're going to bring the volume back up, and the value back up.
All right, let's see what Revenant Nation has to say real quickly. Generational wealth. VP said the NFL owners are trying to pull off the ultimate gangster move against the running backs. They're letting them know that they're second tier. Let them eat cake. Here's the issue. The running back position is dwindling not because the owners think that the position is dwindling. It's because the quarterback position has helped it dwindle. In the age of the running quarterback, you don't have to have a dominant running back anymore. So you have to thank people like Cam Newton. You have to thank people like Justin Fields. You have to thank people like Richardson, who got drafted by the Colts, and so forth and so on,
And
for
don't
help,
forget, Rev, like Michael Vick.
like Michael Vick, Randall Cunningham, all of those who started the movement of the running quarterback. That's why the running back position is not as valued anymore, and teams can have running back by committee because now the quarterback is just as much as a threat to run the ball as the running back.
Yep.
So running backs have to fault the evolution of the quarterback. Those teams that don't have running quarterbacks will be very reliant on their running backs. But those teams that have a running quarterback will be the ones where the running back position will not be as valuable because the quarterbacks can run the ball just as well as the running back. I don't know what's going on, Armani. It seems like we got a
Me
world
neither.
with the panel, but we're going to continue the show and move on. Anthony Corey said if the talent of QB goes down, then they will return. I totally agree with that assessment. All right. Coach, are you here to stay?
Well, it's that noise outside. They working on something out there.
Don't worry about it. We'll work through that. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
I don't think they disappear like the fullback.
Yeah,
That's
the
very
fullback is gone.
The fullback is gone because what has made the fullback position obsolete? The evolution of the shotgun.
Shotgun.
The shotgun just ruined the fullback position. All right, let's move on to the next topic. Shakari's redemption. Shakari Richardson comes back big and strong and wins her latest championship in track and field. Armani, what says you about this topic?
I mean, what a comeback story. I mean, everybody kind of written her off and saying that, she won't be the same because of the things that she was dealing with mentally and all the, you can't, of course, you can't smoke weed or anything like that in track and Olympics. It's against the rules, but she made a mistake. And I mean, this is a good comeback story. I'm happy for her. She did her thing, and I'm very happy that she was able to come back and prove the doubters wrong.
All right, Coach, what you got?
When Shakari closed this and used her legs, that's all it took. She was always talented. She just had to close them out and just let her work speak for her. That's all.
That's right.
Red, what you got?
Coach said it perfectly right. Close that mouth. Stop giving these media folks little snippets to run with. Close your mouth. Focus on your craft, and you see where she at right now. Even the Jamaicans who she had beef with last year, even they friends with her now. So good. Like Armani said, this is a good redemption story. I'm happy for you. I was hoping this was what you was gonna do after the you got sidetracked last year with your positive test. So we all are happy and we all are pulling for you, Shikari. Good job, girl. Good job.
All right, we're moving on. Oh, hold on. Rev Night Nation might have something to say. I agree, Coach. Shut your mouth and let those legs do the talking. I think it was inevitable the Jamaican bobsled team been getting
Bobsled.
he talking about their hairstyle.
The VP said he loves how she shunned the media and gave interviews to small black media outlets. Maurice Thoreau said
Yeah.
for her to win her race from the worst lane on the track and walk those Jamaicans down, it was just epic to watch. In fact, it's one of the best 100-meter finals ever. All right. Thank y'all, River Night Nation. I didn't see the race, nor did I care too much, so I'm not going to comment. Let's move on. Wander Franco's troubles, the young stud of the Tampa Bay Rays, is struggling. He's under investigation, some foul play. So now his career is up in limbo as he is experiencing an indefinite suspension. So we'll go back to you, Coach. Your thoughts on the young stud who's in trouble in Tampa Bay.
I only have one thing to say about you, Wanda. There are not any women around your age that you can't get with. I'm in it right there.
All right, Red, what you got?
I don't really think he's struggling. I think it's off field love life is struggling. Yeah, I'm with Coach, man. Dude, stop hanging out at McDonald's and all these little kiddie places and go find you a real woman, man. Hey, what are you doing? 14 years old? Jeez, man. And maybe that's how they do things in Dominican, but you over here in America now, and we don't play about pedophiles. So I hope they investigate and get to the bottom of this. But if you guilty of any of these actions, Wanda, dude, you done. You done. And I don't know what Tampa Bay gonna do with that contract because they really don't have money to waste. But I'm with Coach on this
All right, let's see what the Revenant Nation has to say about this one. The VP says, he says that part, Coach. The president says Wanda Kelly. And the VP say Wanda must be hanging out with Mark Shimura. Lord.
Oh, golly. He in bad shape then.
Oh, Lord. Hey, Coach, wasn't that the slumber party, pedophile?
Yeah. He in bad shape.
This kid has a bunch of potential. He's a stud on the baseball field, but it seems like his kingdom might be coming down because of making poor choices. Hopefully, there may be some redemption because we're looking at a redemption tour going on in Atlanta right now with Marcel Ozuna, who found himself.
Yeah, that wasn't no pedophile stuff, though.
Well, it's a different scenario.
Yeah.
But we'll see if he's able to get out of the mess.
Yeah, hopefully they'll do a thorough investigation.
Thorough investigation.
You know, hey, I'm all about second chances. Now, if the Tampa Bay suspend him and he comes back and he performs, hey, but like I say, right now, dude, you are making some very poor choices. I give him a little pass to say that he still is a young kid. I mean, he's still, 20, 21 years old?
Yeah,
so, I mean, you still technically messing with somebody maybe, 5, 6 years younger, but still, dude, she is 14. You are a grown man now. You cannot make these type of choices now.
Yeah,
but like I say, we all about second chances.
And that's statutory rape in the United States.
No,
right.
Wow.
Here's the thing.
Wow.
As much as I hope he's not found guilty, that he didn't do anything stupid, if he did do something, he has to suffer the consequences.
Yeah.
Because that's irresponsible. And it's
very
irresponsible if he did commit it. It's all alleged right now. Because Florida has some of the most beautiful women in the world.
In the world.
They have the United Nations.
Uh-huh.
If you go from South Florida to Central Florida, you're going to see many women, especially within his race. They ain't hurting for Dominicans.
So ain't.
In Florida. They're not hurting.
No wonder looking way.
If I had to move to Florida in my younger years, I would have taken up Spanish and made sure I spoke fluent Spanish. So all options would be on the table.
Hey, Rev, you can do that just moving to LA, man.
Hey, Rev, I can understand it. If somebody's speaking it, I can understand it, but I can't speak it back.
Oh yeah, I can't speak it back either.
You'll learn the right words to say, fellas. I'll just say that.
No speaking at the high school, Franco.
Yeah, that's it. Probably hanging around the Florida high school. He need to be at the Florida bars, man. Hit some of them bars up, some of them grown people places. Wonder and stop being a little kid hanging out at the skating rink and stuff.
Yeah, that dude must not have much confidence in his game, in his talking game, because there's absolutely no reason.
I blame some of his teammates. Why they ain't taking that boy out? Come on. One of them go, you come hang out. It's always should be somebody on the team you
You
hanging
ain't
with,
even got to
going.
do. I mean, just if they know who you are. I mean, most of them, especially in Florida, they know who they know who the athletes are now.
Yeah.
He,
Rev,
he,
You know the term going on trim hunts. That's what I'm saying. Well, why is it one of his teammates going on trim hunts in
now,
Florida?
y'all don't know what they might have asked him out, but Wanda may have told him, "I'm sorry, guys, I can't go out with y'all tonight. I got to babysit."
Oh my Lord, Coach, man.
You're
Let
wrong.
me move on to this
Oh
segment.
my
Now,
God. So
Maurice
coach,
Thor,
they going to the
Maurice,
bars and want to say, I'm going to Chuck E. Cheese.
no. Y'all stop there. We got to move on, man. Maurice Thor said, hey, y'all need to give that advice to Jordan's son as he's getting whipped by
Ooh.
That's a
Ooh.
good word.
They about to get married. This little whip sucker.
On to the last 5 for 5 topic. Steven Strasburg, former stud for the
Whew.
Washington Nationals, did win them help them win a World Series, is about to hang his cleats up and retire. Your thoughts about young Steven Strasburg? We will start with you, Red. What you got?
Well, it's unfortunate for Strasburg. He came into the game as such a phenom talent. He started off good. I mean, truth be said, he was able to win a World Series for the team that drafted him. So that was good. But the money that they invested in this kid and the money that they still have to pay him because that contract is not insured. So Washington is on got to pay all that money up. So, whew, I mean, it's disappointing financially for the Nationals. It's disappointing for Strasburg because he had such a bright future, and it seems like he about in 2019 he had figured it out. He had Max Scherzer as a teammate to mentor him a little bit, and it seemed like he was on his way to being the guy that they wanted. But injuries, unfortunately, took a toll, and that's pretty much doomed his career. But hey, he got paid.
Armani.
Um. Hey, go to coach.
Coach.
I hate this for Strasburg because he had such a good career with the Nationals. He was on his way. He wasn't putting up Hall of Fame numbers without a doubt. But as you know, sports is a occupation where you get injured, it's over. Could be over, potentially be over, and that's what happened to him, especially as a pitcher. So, somebody asked, was he going to be in the Hall of Fame? I said, no, he's not going to be in the Hall of Fame. He just going to be seen as a good pitcher who dominated while he pitched, and a lot of people going to point at the once he got that contract, that's when things start falling apart. So, hey, unfortunate for him, but he's paid.
If you
Like
look
like
at
the next Mike Hampton kind of
all
coach,
right,
ain't he?
the VP says kid is 35 years old. He made an ish ton of money. Drew Rosenhaus strikes again. Fortunately for him, he still get paid. Yeah, I mean, when he was healthy, arguably he was one of the best pitchers to ever do it. Man has a 113 win. He has 113 wins with 62 losses, which is not bad. With a career ERA now 3.24, and the reason why his ERA has escalated because the last 3 seasons that he pitched, which were 2020, 2021, 2022, and 2020, he had a 10.80 ERA in 2 starts. 2021 in 5 starts, he had a 4.57 ERA. In 1 start in 2022, he had a 13.5 ERA. Besides those seasons, his highest earned run average in a season was 3.74 in 22 starts. That's good pitching right there. But
Yeah.
the problem was he could not stay healthy. And that's going to prevent him from being able to go into the Hall of Fame.
And Red brought up a name I ain't heard in a long time who could have been on that same track. Mike Hampton. Hampton, everybody thought he was going to be one of the best pitchers around and got derailed.
Got derailed, and we saw it firsthand in Atlanta. All right, the VP said I'm about to board my flight. Have a great rest of the show, guys. Have a great and safe weekend, everyone. VP out. Maurice Throw. Do the gallows for me. All right. Safe
All right,
travels.
Vince. All right, Vince.
Safe travels. All
Appreciate you,
right.
buddy.
That concludes 5 for 5, and we had a good run with it, and that was a good segment. And appreciate you, brothers, for sharing. All right, real quickly, we're going to do quick about the NFL preseason thoughts so far. We'll have our NFL preview next week, since that's
Right.
when the season starts, and then we'll close out with some baseball. All right, so NFL preseason thoughts so far. I shared some of my preseason thoughts about the Falcons and how I think Arthur Smith is doing a disservice treating the preseason like it really doesn't matter. And we've seen how he's done that the past 2 years, which did not equate into the Falcons having good seasons. And I think we're heading down that route again, even with an improved roster. I hope that I'm proven wrong. But I will decrease so you all can increase. Since I'm talking about the Falcons, let me talk to the other two Falcons fans who are probably more diehard than the good Reverend over here. So I'm going to start with Armani right now. What are your preseason thoughts about the Falcons and how Coach Arthur Smith is handling it? And do you have any other thoughts as you look over the NFL preseason as a whole? What's your thoughts?
I mean, I don't Arthur Smith. It just seems like he's going to keep making the same mistakes over and over again. I mean, he done this the past 2-3 years, and he's keep making the same mistakes, and then we keep every first game that we have, we coming out flat. Every first game that we have, we are flat. Nothing is that first drive is I can't stand to watch the first drive in the first game because they look out of sync. And Arthur Smith, dude, you don't have no pedigree to say, oh, my starting quarterback don't need to start. Say what? What has Ritter done to prove that say he don't need to start at least 2 of those games? Nothing. He's done nothing. So I get it if you want to rest Kyle Pitts. I mean, we know what Kyle Pitts gonna give us when you get him the football and he's coming off an injury. So I can understand Kyle Pitts and even Drake London. Drake London we know what we're getting out of those guys. But we don't know what we're getting out of Desmond Ritter or Bijan Robinson, to be totally honest. We going off of hope, and that's not good. That's not a good thing when you're going off of hope. So I mean, I guess I'm about like you, Rev. I'm becoming a more emotionalist Falcons fan because it's like the same story over and over again. So I mean, the preseason, the only thing I can say is, hey, the defense improved. DeMarco Hellum seems to be like he's gonna be a good player. I think Zach Harrison from Ohio State is gonna be a good player for us. So I mean, we got the defense is gonna. I think the defense is gonna be better than the offense to me, because we depending on Desmond Ritter. So, with that being said, we just don't know. It's a big question mark. I don't think the defense is gonna give up a lot of points this year.
Red, your thoughts?
Well, I second a lot of Armani's thoughts. Yeah, but thing is, I'm not even sure what the defense is gonna do this year because basically we really didn't see anything from I'm just speaking from a Falcons point of view, not what I think about the NFL, but from a Falcons point of view, we basically didn't see anything in this preseason. Nothing. Nothing from the offense. One series. Defensive starters played very seldom. I swear I don't remember any plays that Jesse Bates played. Okay, I think he played a little in that second game. But like I say, most of our starters did not play this preseason. So honestly, I want to say I thought I knew what we had going into the season, but honestly, after that game last night, that 24-0 drugging, everything, and I mean everything, is a question mark to me going into the season. The coaching, the offense, the defense, everything. So, like I say, I hope week 1 my opinion has changed, but I don't have no faith in this plumber looking coach named Arthur Smith. Okay, I told y'all from the beginning, I was never on board with him. He hasn't impressed me from day one. 2 years, 14 and 20. Everybody keeps saying, well, he had this obstacle to get over and this hurdle to get over. Okay, well, if you have those hurdles to get over, Why do you keep making yourself look even worse by looking like you don't have your team prepared? That's what I'm saying. If you got all these hurdles to get over, why do you keep making more hurdles? Why do you keep making more obstacles by doing stuff that nobody can? I mean, doing these inexplicable things during the preseason and during the season. To me, you just digging your hole even deeper. But like I say, I was never sold on the guy. So the more mistakes he makes, the more validation I get. If he chokes this season away, I come back and say, I told y'all this guy was a mistake from the beginning. So, but I hope I'm wrong. But like Armani and Rev again, it's easy to be take the emotions out of it these days because the things we are doing, honestly, don't make no sense and are just too dumb. Okay. So, like I say, Arthur, I hope I know what you're doing, but playing your offense one series when you're starting a new quarterback and all these guys need reps together and need to be gelling together, starting them one series in 3 preseason games. Okay, buddy. Defensive, like you say, you look good after the first game. You look solid after the second game. That third game, everybody looked like pure trash. So, like I say, everything's a question mark going to the first game. I hope I see something that changes my mind. But if you had to take me to Vegas and put some money on it right now, I would say we are gonna crap out.
And one other thing, I think Armani makes a great point in terms of the fact that Desmond Ritter needed way more reps than what he's been
Yeah,
getting. We don't even
one series.
we don't even know if he's a proven commodity. I
Nope.
mean, they were entertaining talks for a potential trade for a quarterback, even with Desmond Ritter being on the squad at some point between last year and this year. So to suggest that he doesn't need reps, he doesn't need to build chemistry with where we still have young offensive talent because Kyle Pitts is going in the young three. That's still year three. That's still young. London is going into year two. That's still young. He's
Mm-hmm.
Robinson, rookie. He's young. There has to be some chemistry built. It's almost like Arthur Smith is like, I can't let anybody see my game plan. I can't let anybody see. He's trying to do with this team what basketball has done, and I've heard him say it himself, where it's about positionless football. Good luck with that.
For
Good luck.
real, man.
There's a reason why players have different body types. That's why you got to have certain players with girth who are on the offensive and defensive lines. There's a reason why you got to have some stocky guys with power running the ball. There's a reason why you got your fast dudes with a little bit of height with some speed who play wide receiver. So he's trying to. It's almost like he's trying to do something revolutionary. He's trying to be the next Chip Kelly who gave us the was that RPO, run pass option.
Yeah.
It seems like that's what he's more concerned about doing than winning football games. But enough about us, and I hope y'all saw what Anthony Corey said. AS has the best name because his
Yeah,
initials that's his coach.
that that's why I was laughing at earlier. I
Yeah,
told Anthony try to take over my show. You better stop. I'm gonna cancel you.
and he said Ritter like Ryan is going to be saved by circus catches. So he's already
Yeah,
said that Ritter has a new arm. All right, with that
that,
being said. With that being said, I know Coach seems like the preseason is going in a different direction for his team. He's floating on cloud
I
nine.
know after last night.
He was even making some bold predictions prior to the show. I don't know if he was just caught up by being back to talking sports or if he really believed what he said prior to the show. So, Coach, give us your preseason thoughts so far, and we know all of your preseason thoughts will begin and ultimately end with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So, what you got for us, Coach?
Don't hold us long, coach.
You look at, I mean, look at what Steelers did. It's a what they call it, a hyperbole oxymoron. If you win all your preseason games, you're gonna be bad in the regular season. Maybe so. But the thing I look for, and I'm glad that the Steelers are showing, that they have improved. That's what I'm looking for. Wins or losses doesn't matter. I look for improvement and look like Pickens is going to be better, showing he can be Bill Johnson, and that offense and the defense is always there. But what's funny is I see people saying, "Oh Lord, look at the Steelers winning. Oh, now everybody think they're gonna be good." But in the same breath, if the Steelers went 0-3, some of their own fans will be ready to crucify them, saying, "Look at that. We ain't improved none. We got the same old stuff." So, I mean, the preseason can be good and bad, but I'm gonna tell you, Joe Burrow, he don't want to be out too long. They iffy on when he's coming back, and they got to see. But Deshaun Watson is gonna be a key this year for the North. The North is gonna be tough if Deshaun Watson play like he used to play, and Cleveland got a decent team. They're gonna be hard to beat. That whoever wins the North is gonna be looking real good. I don't care if we get a wild card. I just want to get in there because anything happen. Records go out the window. We can get a wild card and sneak in the playoffs. Long we ain't got to play Kansas City until the championship game. I'll be fine. I ain't scared of nobody else.
Man, he talking about Kansas City not even winning his division. Come on now.
No, I never said that. Wait a minute, Rev. Now you're not telling the truth. I didn't say Kansas City wasn't going to win the division.
No, I said you talking about playing Kansas City.
Oh, no, I don't want none of that. No.
Win your division first. Don't talk about champions.
Rev, if we finish second and make the wild card, I'll be fine. I'll be fine.
Don't talk about playing champions yet.
Just
win the division first.
So, Coach, y'all got a chance at a ring this year. You think then?
Temper
make the playoffs.
If we get to the playoffs and we can avoid Kansas City, I ain't scared of nobody else.
You see how the preseason
okay. I like this confidence.
The preseason has made him very.
Hey, Real, this was better than last year when he chose the Bengals as the winner of the division.
Well, I mean, he was being honest, and I give him credit for that because that's one of the things that Coach sometimes. I ain't gonna say he's not honest. Sometimes he makes picks with his heart rather than reality, and reality set in for him last year. Now he's drinking the Kenny Pickett preseason Kool-Aid. That's for sure.
Not so much the Pickett Kool-Aid. The team has got me, and I want to thank. Since we're talking about Georgia, I want to thank Georgia and all them NFL teams for passing up on Daniel Washington. We got a murderer's row down in the red zone with Daniel Washington down there.
Well, he's a beast. Every team gets better when you put Georgia players on your team.
Exactly, Coach.
You know, I mean, he's gonna be a major factor because he is a big target and
That's right.
Fast. And
Can't go wrong with UGA.
But one of the things I will say is Steelers arguably have the best tight end tandem in the NFL with Freiermuth, and then you got the dude with Darnell Washington. I mean, I don't see how too many teams let Darnell Washington go. I know he's injury prone, but how many times you gonna get that kind of big target that has speed and can block his backside off? You know, so I mean, the Steelers. It's going to be all about what if Kenny Pickett can play to the level of a Joe Burrow, of a Lamar Jackson, of a Deshaun Watson. We'll see if he can do that, and time will tell. Probably within the next 4 weeks.
Rev, I don't care if he does that. I just want to be. He can be a game manager. He got to.
Steelers ain't gonna be.
The Steelers coach on the hot seat. Who is Anthony's team?
The Falcons.
He's a Falcons fan.
Oh well, yeah. Arthur Smith. Let Arthur Smith start 0-2, 0-3.
Let's just put it like this. Arthur Smith, his seat is inferno if Mike Tomlin's on the hot seat.
Right, you're right.
He blunted
Arthur Smith seat on the hot seat if he start Armani 0-3. Well, we said 0-3, right?
That grease is popping.
If they get blown out in game 1, he needs to be fired by game 4 if they're 1-3 or 0-4, because once again, not respecting the preseason. The preseason has some type of purpose. I mean, you only play your starters one series,
Coach is scared, man.
series out of 180 minutes of football. that you can
Right.
play in the preseason, one series, and you have a young team, you have a quarterback that is not proven, and that's man, please, I don't want to hear. All right,
Rev,
I'm with
yes,
you, real.
and this for Red right here. I got some unfortunate breaking news.
Oh, coach, don't kill me. I'm scared to hear it. Come on, give it to me.
Bob Barker has passed away.
oh
Oh
man,
man.
the
Oh
price is right.
man.
I
Yeah.
just saw it. It just came across my phone. I said, "Boy, everybody grew up with The Price is Right." Lord have mercy.
The
How
craziest
old
thing,
was he?
yeah,
How
90,
old was he?
yeah, he had to be,
90.
yeah. The
Oh
crazy
man.
thing was I was at my D-Min intensive. For those who don't know, I'm working on my doctorate of ministry degree, and I'm doing it at Payne Theological Seminary in Wilberforce, Ohio. So their mic system at the chapel was terrible, and they had this big old mic that the preacher was using. I deemed it the Bob Barker mic all week long because Bob Barker had that long mic that he used.
Yeah,
Yep.
Is right.
Skinny Mike.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
looked like an antenna.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure, for sure. But
Yeah.
God rest his soul. Bob Barker, one of
Yeah,
the
man.
game show legends. Oh, he was
Right.
99, coach. They said Tom
99. Oh,
90,
yeah, sure is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Thank you, Thomas.
just missed
Wow.
one of the greatest game show hosts, definitely in my lifetime. He held it. The prices right down for decades. I know Armani might not know anything about it. What was that comedian who took over for
Drew Carey.
him?
Drew Carey.
Yeah, you probably remember Drew Carey, but Bob Barker was the original and the best. With that
I
being
still
said,
I still watch the show today. I'm just
let's
man,
get
that's a hard one, coach.
let's get ready to shift gears as we get ready to conclude the show. Red, I need you to get ready. We got to talk a little baseball because there's a great baseball team somewhere in Georgia. I just can't remember the team's name. It may be someone team that resembles the team that's on Red's T-shirt. So we're going to talk about them in just a minute. So let's get ready for our Braves report. Red, get ready to be up as we get ready for our Braves report. Let's do it, gentlemen. In 3, 2, and 1.
It's game time. It's GT.
What's up, everybody? It is the official Braves report. I mean, what can't I say about my Atlanta Braves? I mean, we left off back in June. I think we had what maybe a 2 or 3 game lead. Yeah, it wasn't that big, but now here we are in August, almost September. It's almost a 20-game lead. And why do we have a 20-game lead? Because like my Bulldogs, baby, we are simply the best. So good that man, if we don't win the ring this season, it is gonna be it's gonna be really disappointing. I mean, really disappointing if we don't win the ring this season. And let me tell you why. The Braves are pretty much dominating all the offensive categories and a few of the pitching categories. Tops in average, tops in home runs, tops in run. I'm not talking about National League. I'm talking about all over the major leagues, baby. Runs, average, slugging, OPS, hits. I mean, what the Braves? It's like a video game. Like I posted a few weeks back, the Braves offense is like a video game. From 1 to 9, almost all of them have 20, 25 home runs. I mean, the lowest home runs we got is probably Rev's kid that's not his kid, Michael Harris at 12. And if he keep hitting, he'll have 20 home runs for the end of the season. This offense is just leaves nothing to be desired. I mean, like I said, video game offense, top of the charts. And don't sleep on the pitching because the pitching is still top 5 in the National League. The bullpen is number 1 in the National League. Yeah, you believe that? Braves bullpen, number 1 in the National League, top 3 in all of baseball. So even though our hitting is out of this world, our pitching is gonna just guide us through, baby. Like I say, there's nothing bad to say about the Braves right now. Even when we slumping, we not slumping. Haven't had a 5-game win streak all season because we just don't believe in containing losses, baby. We lose a couple of them, we're gonna pick it back up. The Atlanta Braves are the best team in baseball, and they have no choice but to win it all again. Because if they don't, this is gonna be a choke job right here. But I'm loving my Braves right here. I'm loving the offense. I'm loving the defense. The managing is kind of iffy at times, but with this superstar lineup we got, even Snick can look good. He can't mess it up that bad. So Braves, like I say, just dominating the NL East and dominating every team we play.
All right. Coach, you got anything to say about the Braves? Unmute yourself.
What had been said, he covered it. Red covered everything. I mean, this team is built for the next 5 years to be top contenders for the World Series every year. They built to last, and Double A has come in and said, "Hey, this is what I want to do, and this is my goal." And he provided his goal and did what he had to do. So, hey, it's gonna be hard to beat them in the next few years if they don't lose anybody.
And let me just address my good member in Pennsylvania. As long as they don't have to face the Phillies in the playoffs, you have a chance. Now let's be reminded, my good Phillies fan, Phillies caught the Atlanta Braves at the right time because the Atlanta Braves pitching was decimated when they played against the Phillies. Spencer Strider was coming off an injury. When Max Fried did not deliver game one, the Braves were in trouble because Spencer Strider was not Spencer Strider. Let's also be reminded that the Braves lineup was banged up. There was no Ozzy Albies at all. Then Ronald Acuna Jr. was not the Ronald Acuna Jr. that we see this year. He was coming off that major leg industry, my fault, injury. Also, let's remember that yes, the Phillies got better with Trey at shortstop. The Braves got exceedingly better at catcher with Sean Murphy. All right, so the Braves 1 through 9 lineup is much more potent than the Phillies 1 through 9 lineup. Also, the Braves have at least 3 solid starters at pitching that I would take over a Russ Wheeler right now, that I would take over a Suarez right now, that I would take over an Aaron Nola right now with the Philadelphia Phillies. Let's just say, let's hold tight with the Phillies pom poms because the Phillies were able to beat the Braves when the Braves were not 100%. Can they do it now? Time to tell. But I know if you are a smart betting person, you would bet on the Braves way before you would bet on the Philadelphia Phillies. Hold on, Red, you're on mute.
Uh,
Go ahead.
what happened to the Marlins? I swear they was nipping at our heels a few months ago,
Well,
but then and then Maurice came to town, and boy, I haven't seen this team since.
Well, at least
Maurice, did you?
Maurice had a baseball revelation when he was witnessing those baseball beatdowns. He realized that the Marlins were not in the ballpark with the Atlanta Braves, and I'm so glad he saw it up close and personal. This is why he's chosen, if he's still around, to sit this segment out, rightfully so. I applaud Maurice
Yeah,
Torres.
yeah, me too. I applaud
it's
Acuna
pretty
honestly
quiet.
leading out that game with 2 home runs, and he's supposed to come up and say, "What's up, Red?" Oh, I didn't see him till the next day.
So the question is, so is this team's better than the pennant 90s Braves? Offensively, it's not even close. Yes.
No.
Pitching wise, you still have to give the nod to the 90s Braves because then I don't see 3 Hall of Famers on this staff right now. You
Nope.
know, Strider's trajectory is Hall of Fame right now. Max Fried at one point in time was looking like a potential Hall of Famer. But these guys cannot pitch as long as those guys back in the 90s. I mean, if Greg Maddux didn't pitch 8 innings, something was wrong with him. You know, he was known for complete games. He was known to give the
Exactly.
bullpen a rest. Now, batting wise, the Braves lineup back then is nowhere near what these guys are putting up now. It's not even close. I mean, there are no holes in the Braves lineup now that Marcel Ozuna has found his bat, Eddie Rosario has found his bat, and it makes it so difficult to pitch to this team because when they get runners on base, you got to be mindful of the runners because they got much speed, and more speed. We hadn't said that for a long
Oh
time.
yeah.
Say that
Well,
about
we're gonna be saying it soon. I can feel it.
the Georgia Bulldogs, if anything.
Oh
But
yeah.
they got speed, and more speed with Michael Harris, Ozzy Albies, with Ronald Acuna Jr. Rosario's pretty speedy as well. I mean, they just have power. They have speed. They have guys who are making contact. They've cut down on the strikeouts this year. They just have a potent lineup that you have to fear.
Armani, come on. Now, real, come on. When Michael Harris and Armani get on the bases and they take off running, they have what, fellas? Speed,
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 speed, and
speed,
no speed.
and more speed. Yeah. There you
Wait a
go,
minute.
Anthony.
Did you
But
hear
like,
what
I'm
you
with you,
get?
real.
Armani, I didn't know you were playing for the Braves. Because
But Anthony,
Red,
An-
no, Red, you said
oh,
when Michael Harris and Armani get on the base.
I did. I meant Acuna. Acuna,
I
yeah.
know it. I had to mess with you on that one.
Oh,
I know what
Armani,
you
you
were
ain't
saying.
slow now. You ain't that slow, Armani. You can probably get around them bases.
He got to
But
have
real,
since he's vertically challenged.
Oh. Oh.
I'm
I
staying
had to
out of
throw
that,
that
Oreo.
I'm just
I
joking.
no comment.
I had to throw that one
Rev,
out.
But real,
Rev, you must have missed me, man. You've been picking at me all day. If you missed me, just say that. Dang. You
Did
missed me.
you
well,
Just
real,
miss
this
me? Did you miss me? Yeah. Go ahead, Rev.
real, this
Finish.
is what I'm saying. Yeah, the Braves. I think the '90s Braves will have more Hall of Fame pitchers. Than I'm talking to you too, Anthony. But I think this current Braves will have more of our position players in the Hall of Fame.
For
Because
sure.
right
For sure.
now, I'm looking at Ozzy, I'm looking at Acuna. If Austin and Matt Olson keep up their numbers consistently for another 3 or 4 years, they might have a chance to get in. Like I say,
Michael,
I think more position players will have more of a chance in this on these Braves than the '90s Braves.
for sure. For sure. Their
but
position players and hitters are much better than the 90s.
but
Because
Yeah.
isn't it funny though, Rev? I'm sorry to cut you. Isn't it funny that the team that we committed armed robbery against beat us 2 out of 3 games? The Oakland
oh,
A's.
yeah, the Oakland A's. Yeah, they did win 2 out of 3. That which is
Everybody in the league said that was armed.
of the year.
Yeah, that was armed robbery.
For
Strong
sure.
arm.
All right,
I
gentlemen.
bet I
Well,
bet they still patting themselves on the back for that one, coach.
all right, gentlemen. Well, we'll pick up next week with some baseball because we'll be getting closer to the end, and we'll make our final down to the wire predictions of the regular season on next week. All right, and also we'll do our NFL preview, and then next week we'll see what the schedule looks like, and we'll start making our predictions so we can get these records going. And
Somebody going for three
Look at
three
Armani.
trophies. Not only are we going for a three-peat, somebody going for 3 college trophies in a row. Hey, coach, you remember when somebody on this show said we need to rename the college award trophy? You remember that? Well, we may need to think about renaming it again because it's gonna be the Red Invitational come next week. I mean,
I think if the truth be told, we're tied with NCAA championships. Am I correct?
I think
Okay.
we are tied.
And then I regained the lead with NFL championships last year.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. You did win last year. I forgot. Coach, you let Red hunt you down.
Well,
You gotta win.
I was too busy trying to console Armani and help him out.
Well, Coach was too busy realizing that people weren't wearing masks anymore. So then his predictions started going down the tube.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go at the COVID time.
As long as they got masks on, Coach is a threat. But now that the masks are
Yeah.
gone, man, COVID era.
All right, Coach. The
Coming
fans
down.
are back in the seats now, Coach.
Yeah, they are. Armani, it's your year this year. It's your
Man,
year.
whatever.
What did the great rap theologian by the name of Public Enemy once say?
Uh-oh.
Don't believe the hype. All right, gentlemen. Y'all know how we conclude the show each week. You have the right. Who has the right to do what, when, where, and how? Who wants at it first?
I'll go. Angels, you have the right to realize that sure Tony is not long for you guys. You messed up when you didn't trade him at trade deadline. Now you don't messed up his pitching arm. Just let this guy go to a winning team that knows how to use him, knows how to take care of him, knows how to flaunt him to the world because you guys are just failing like miserable. You guys not gonna even make the playoffs again this year. So do us all a favor. You have the right to let Shohei Ohtani go. Hopefully to my Braves, but that's probably just fantasy.
All right. Who wants at it next? Who has the right to do what, when, where, and how?
Philadelphia 76ers.
Uh-oh.
Y'all have the right to just let James Harden dig himself into the deeper hole, and he can sail himself into the sunset into retirement because it's coming.
All right, Coach. Who has the right to do what, when, where, how?
Miami soccer team. You climb back into everything. Let Messi rest today, please. He played every minute of every game since he's been here in the United States. He's not Cal Ripken, nor will he ever be Cal Ripken. Let him take a break today. Y'all can afford a loss. Y'all been doing good, so let the man rest. Or he's gonna have burnout, and then next thing you know, you won't have him at all.
And I'll conclude by saying, Atlanta Falcons fans, you have the right to take a page out of Red's fan book. Prepare yourself to be an emotionless Falcons fan so you won't be as disappointed if these L's start coming that look like they will come because we have a head coach that may be beyond his capability of coaching NFL football. And with that being said, that concludes the Red and Red Sports Show, episode 289 for today. Sister Harris said James Harden has the right to unburden the Sixers.
Unburden them.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Revenite Nation, we thank y'all so much for tuning to episode 289 of the Red and Red Sports Show. We want to thank y'all for showing up and showing out. One more time, is Maurice still around to bang down the gavel? Because in order to give some competition to our VP, we got to bang the gavel at the beginning and bang the gavel at the end. Is there a Maurice Brewer outing? If not, Mr. President, can you be the prez right now and bang the gavel so we can conclude another episode of the Red and Red Sports Show? And we wish you luck as you go into the woods to hunt grizzlies. We don't cover all topics. We got a president who does hunting on the show. Thank you so much.
He hunt Ninja Turtles in the woods.
If you enjoyed this show, tell somebody. Share this broadcast so that they can become a part of the Revenite Nation. And the president has slammed down the gavel. We'll be back same time next week, 11 a.m. on the same Facebook page and YouTube channel. Peace and love, everybody. Have a great weekend. And we'll see you next week for episode 290 of the Red and Red Sports Show. We're out of here. Peace and love.